Minister Harry Theoharis, thank you so much for joining us today. There's a lot of excitement about the travel corridor between Greece and the UAE. Can you tell us what requirements there are in order to enter Greece?
Either proof of vaccination 2 weeks and 2 weeks after the second dose, or a proof of having the disease and having recovered. So, for example, a positive test 2 months up to 9 months in the past, so enough time has passed so that people have recovered, or finally a negative test, for the time being a PCR test, but we're hoping to agree with our doctors pretty soon that we will also accept antigen tests. So those are the three requirements before you travel. Now, when they enter Greece, we always keep monitoring a small percentage with testing, and that includes everyone. This allows us to sort of gather the viral load and the statistics that the doctors require of us in order to allow and make these arrangements. So it is a possibility, despite being vaccinated, that you might be tested. But because we have a very sophisticated artificial intelligence system, we move our testing capacities where the risk is higher. So effectively to the non-vaccinated people and to the countries that have a higher viral load. So as a result, we don't believe that we will have many vaccinated people from UAE being tested at the borders, but that is a possibility, and I need to stress that.
And what about the other GCC countries?
Well, we certainly allow, since the 14th of May, Qatari residents, Saudi Arabia residents, Bahraini residents to be able to travel to Greece as well as UAE.
In the UAE, Sinopharm is currently widely used for vaccinations. There has been some bad press about Sinopharm globally. Is there any chance that Greece will reconsider its policy of allowing Sinopharm vaccinated travellers into Greece?
Again, as I said, despite the common European stance that doesn't sort of allow those kind of vaccines, Greece has taken a firm decision that we will allow those vaccines. And if you like, we can take that decision because we keep the border monitoring process of the small percentage of people that are being tested. So let's take a bad scenario, that actually Sinopharm is not as effective, and we have a lot of people coming from the UAE or from other places vaccinated with Sinopharm, but there's a high percentage of infection. We will monitor that at the borders, and our artificial intelligence algorithm, as I said, will direct more testing at our borders towards the constituency of travelers that are higher risk than others. So as a result, automatically our system will sort of target that area. That allowed us to be much more flexible with the requirements before traveling.
And just how safe is Greece? What's the percentage of vaccinated citizens?
Now, we currently vaccinate about 1% of the population, more than 1% of the adult population per day, and that is a huge drive, and that is a big ally in our drive to bring the cases down. We also announced and implementing briskly the Operation Blue Freedom, which is an operation to vaccinate every individual in the islands. We have finished with the small and the medium-sized islands. End of May was the second part of the Operation Freedom program. And the third tranche is the largest islands, which will take a bit more time. By the end of June, we will have them vaccinated as well. The gist of the matter, because the proof is in the pudding, as it were, is that we have opened. We have opened internally the restaurants, the archaeological sites, the various things that you can do, and we have opened externally our borders. And actually, there's an acceleration of the trend of the cases going down. We are currently about 20% per week less than the previous week. That's a very, very important number while you're open. So that shows that the process was very well thought of. The process was well organized, but importantly, the process was done with the help of our experts, as we have progress throughout this disease.
And how open is Greece on the ground? I know that the bars and restaurants are open, but are there any restrictions in place?
Well, mainly the issue is music. Music is not allowed. There's no live music, stuff like that. So we still are a bit conservative on that front. The scientists tell us that the spread of the disease when there's loud music is people lean closer together, they shout more, they spread the disease more. So this is something that we have to be conservative for a few weeks at least. And hopefully in a few weeks' time, we'll be able to do another tranche of liberalization of the rules.
And are all the major attractions open now?
Yes, indeed. All archaeological sites, all museums are open. There are still rules about how many people, 15 people per group with their guide. On open-air establishments, and 8 people plus a guide on closed room like museums establishment. This is part of the game this year. In general, the rules are a bit more lax on the touching and the surfaces and stuff, because they seem to be less of a threat, and more strict on the air, the masks and everything, because that's what the scientists tell us is more important.
Are the rules across Greece the same on the mainland as they are on the islands?
Yes, the rules in general, they are the same. We tend to take sometimes local measures, and we're instituting a new system, a new map, which we will take at the final step, some measures, targeted measures for a specific period of time, most likely 10 days, when we see a situation locally to get out of control. We cannot preclude the possibility of this happening. We hope that as more people get vaccinated, both the incoming tourists and our local population, this will not be the case, but we cannot remove the possibility.
And how many visitors are you expecting in Greece in 2021?
You will allow me not to focus on the numbers. It's very, very important, very, very important to still this year focus on the brand. And when I say on the brand, I mean on the quality. The quality has 2 aspects this year. The first is to make the experience seamless, to allow people to come to Greece. If they want to come to Greece, they should be able to come to Greece. That's our goal, and this should be done in a way that's seamless. And I'm very, very glad that everything I hear from people, I'm sure I'm going to hear it from you when you come to Greece, because you will come to Greece, that I've traveled in many airports. I haven't seen anything as smooth as the experience that we get in Greece. I heard it in the past 5 days from 5 different people. So this is glad. I'm talking about CEOs. I'm talking about people in tourism industry. So I'm talking about the kind of people that we meet, and I'm very glad that they believe that this is a great experience. And the second part, of course, is health. We want you to go back to your loved ones, to your family, to your friends, to your colleagues, safe and sound, to go back without any worry. And of course, as I said, prerequisites before you fly, testing when you arrive, quarantine hotels free of charge if you are positive, together with your family. Any hospitalization, heaven forbid, inshallah, you will not need anything when you come to Greece. But if you do, we will provide it free of charge. So that's also an important part of the contract, of the charter towards us, and of course the protocols and the vaccination that will keep everyone safe.
So free hotel, quarantine and medical hospital care if you arrive and test positive?
If you arrive and test positive, or if at any point in your journey you have symptoms and you get tested and you're positive, and heaven forbid, you're required to have more sort of care, more hospital care.
And that's for all visitors coming in?
That's for all visitors. That's part of our pledge.
Well, Minister Theoharis, I am very much looking forward to joining you all in Greece very soon. Thank you so much for your time today.
We're waiting for you with open arms. Thank you for the invitation.